My garden is coming along. It's looking awesome. I figured I'd better do a quick video on how we put this thing up here before I forget. Mother's Day, me, Nance, Jill, Les, and Jane put the porch up, and I think it took us about 3 hours. So the first thing we did was the roof, of course. It was folded, which was nice. I had it inside the house to make sure it was nice and warmed up. So we pulled it through this track up here. And I had removed actually the bolts on this piece here so that we didn't have to fuss with those later. But anyway, we pulled it all the way through to the fireplace here. Because we didn't have the ceiling pieces up, we didn't want it flopping on us. So we pulled it up to here, and then we folded it up on the roof, and we left the rest hanging down on this end here. And then the next thing that we did is went and got the walls and so forth. So we got this piece here, the end screen, and we got the rest of the walls. They were all fan folded. It took all of us to carry them because they're kind of bulky. And what we did was kind of put it in the middle of the floor here, and we opened up the two end pieces here enough so we could get them moved into position underneath the brackets here. And then somebody or one or two people stayed in the middle here with the rest of it kind of supporting it because it's heavy. So before we put it in place, we had to, get this piece here into that track because it's a real tight fit. So we got it in right here, this whole piece, and then somehow we maneuvered it to be able to get it in the track here. It's a little loose, but we were able to get that in there, and then we had to do some maneuvering to get the holes lined up for the brackets. When we put the walls up, we put these pieces in place here too because the walls fit on the outside of the piece here. As you can see, the door goes in the front side. It's a narrow side that goes out, and the wider side goes on the inside. So once we got all the pieces in place and screwed down, had to do a little manipulating, then we got the tracks up here. This is what holds, kind of stabilizes the wall. And the weird part about it is there are no holes in this piece. So when we hung the door, there's a hole here, but there's no hole in this piece. So I don't know if this piece is supposed to go over the screw. It's not down as far as it should be down, as you can see on the end here. But we did the best we could. And we put the tops. I think we had to adjust these a little bit when we put the door up, but because of that. But we put the tops on the wall. This one seemed to do better right here. It's down further. And then these particular tops that go on the outside wall have holes so that they line up here to get this piece right here. So, and this, you can see this here. So this is how this piece goes together here. And we started putting the cross pieces. So there's a hole back here and a hole back here, and we put it in, it looks like the bottom screw hole. And then you can see maybe under here a little bit, there's a screw piece under there that the screw goes into. So there were specific pieces that went along this whole wall here that had the screw holes in. And of course then we did this wall. Once we got the walls up and stabilized, then we started putting these pieces across. And to get there, I have a little screwdriver that's bent to hold the top, or we'll use a nut driver to put the nut back on. So we had one person on this end and then somebody on this end screwing it down on that end. And so we just did all of these pieces. When we got them in place, we finished pulling the roof through, and it got a little touchy on this end because there was debris in the track, so Les used some silicone spray and cleaned out some of the debris so we could pull it. It was a little tougher from the fireplace on to pull it through, but we did get it. And so once we got that through, then we just of course all these pieces were up here. We brought the roof all the way down to the edge, and then they got velcroed down, as you can see, on each area along there, and they also got velcroed down in the middle section up here, and so those got velcroed. This roof piece here, or these tracks right here I should say, get screwed in, and then there's one on the other side too, so that kind of holds the roof down here. There is supposed to be, I gotta get next year some more Velcro, because it's supposed to stick to the wall here. As you can see, it's not doing very well. Kind of came unstuck, but that's kind of what holds the walls down too. So, and we could, once we got the tracks up too, we could put the doors up, and as Jill realized, this track goes on this side and doesn't center over this area here. It goes down to this area because the door slides that way. So the door sliding that way, so that track is that way, and this door track is the opposite way, where it slides in towards the fireplace. So the track on top here had to be put more towards the fireplace, and then the door just kind of hangs on there. We just kind of got it on there, and it goes in the front part of this track here. And then Jill did the tie down. I think she said next year she would wind it around this back area, maybe two or three times around here, just because this is the area that the wind comes from, she says. But she did a great job. She went, let's see, down underneath here. Well, she did a few things there, but she went up to there and then came back down and around the back of this piece, and just kind of kept doing that up through that piece, and then down and underneath. Maybe I'll go out there and see if I can see better out there, all the way to the end here, so that kind of secures it down. Let's see if I can see how she, yeah, so once she went through the hole up there, then she came back down and underneath the bar here. So went up through the hole and then came back down and around the bar. So anyway, I think that's it. I think I got the little tricks that we did. We had to put a screw up there too to kind of hold in this piece here, this end screen. Now, they had done that before, so we did that. So hopefully next year things will go as smooth going up.